Welcome to our space where talking about the inspiring things with inspiring people is what inspires us. Waiting for you here are the infinite possibilities that creation, collaboration, and connection have to offer. A universe where we see everything through rose-tinted spectacles that help us to keep our faith in the power of imagination alive and well. And now, let's talk. Welcome everyone to this episode of Metralla Rosa. I'm super excited today. I have to confess that having this wonderful, gorgeous guest in our home to talk about one of my favorite things ever, which is fashion design and art, all them together, it's quite a challenge. Also, we have been talking already for half an hour non-stop, so it's going to be difficult to rewind, restart, but I want you to know that she is the absolutely queen of bespoke handmade shoe designs and shoemakers. Around the world, she's the best one. And I'm not the one that says that, but a long list of superstars, celebrities that are her clients, like Dita Von Teese, Kat Van D,
Kat Van D,
which is one of your best friends.
She's
also,
my favorite.
David Bowie was also a favorite client, and the list is so long. Björk, who else? Angelina Jolie, Lady Gaga. I mean, it's really impressive. So thank you so much. It really humbles me that you are here.
I'm just a shoemaker
with us. So let's start. We were talking just at the beginning of the show, of this encounter of us, which wasn't the show, about how important it is for you to please yourself. And I think two things which I'm trying to learn. The more you really connect with yourself without caring about the others, without really trying to make anyone but you happy, the better everyone responds to whatever you need to show.
I think it's like some people want some fantasy, but they don't know how to get to this fantasy. And designers all around the world are saying, come into my box, come into my boudoir, come into my world. I'm going to transform you and I'm going to give you a better life. Because as we know, if we feel good in what we wear and how we feel, we transform into a better person. And it can be just for fun. And, we all have to go back to normal life, but people want to go out and they want special outfit or the performers.
They want to feel good.
Yes, it's a performer. The performer, you need to give you this. It's where he's got to change this look all the time. I mean, Madonna, her work was about, oh, I've done this. I'm doing something else. And it was always another fantasy and another fantasy and another fantasy. And she never stopped. And she's amazing. And a lot of people wish to have a quarter of what she's done. And that's why people go to designer to think, oh, I want to be someone else tonight. I'm going to have this dress. I want to do this show. I want to go to this theater. I'm going to a cinema. I'm going to a party. Whatever it is, I want to be someone else. And the world is so exciting. You have so much you can do. Shoes, for me, obviously, is an expression. For me, is very important. I always think about accessories. I love the extremity. So it's always about the shoes, the glove, and the hat for me. But
you could be naked, but if you have those things in place.
I'm from Saint-Tropez, so we're always naked. I suppose it comes from my dad because he's from Nice and he loves Italian shoes. It's why for him, he was come from, this background where you have to have Italian shoes. The day you can buy Italian shoes, you've made it. It's why for him, when he's made it, and he works in hotel, So for him to have the best shoes and the best costume, all from Italy was the best. And this is how I grew up. That's why shoes are always been so important to me.
The lovely thing is that you always feel with if you approach her website, Natacha Marro, her website, or your Instagram, or a little conversation, an exchange of messages, I feel like the feeling of happiness is real. So that's why you work so much with colors, and that's
Yes.
why you work so much with interesting
Texture.
shapes and imagination, a feeling like you are entering into a cartoon kind of world.
Yes, I am forever a child. I just love. It's always been the Red Riding Hood. I mean, I grew up always dressing up as the Red Riding Hood. I always have the red cape, always have the red shoes, and it started from a kickers, who looked very sporty, and I used to be kind of going out always as a child, always outside, niece, you're always outside. But I will have no top, and I will have just a short and shoes. But shoes was all my red shoes. I always wanted red shoes. My parents didn't have all the shoes they wanted, so I was very spoiled. So I remember I have a £50 pair of shoes, and it was quite incredible. And I went to school, and everybody was crying because they didn't have red shoes. And I think I just understood it. Red shoes are important. and it was like, yes, I just always have a pair of red shoes in.
Do you have a
Yes.
favorite pair of you that are not made by you?
Oh
but by
my
someone
God, it's
else?
like choosing. No, this
No.
is. I mean, obviously, the red glitter bubble are magical to me, but obviously the star boots with the pale blue, who for me, because I don't know why, because I grew up in the 70s, and so I'm too young for this, but 70s is something who I feel I like the glam of it. I like the disco. My dad was always listening to disco and everything. So the house was full of that kind of thing, because he worked in a hotel, and the Biblos is really glamorous hotel, and lots of celebrity goes, and you have a club called the Cave du Roi. And because I was 9 years old, but because I was 9, and that room was actually next to the club, I was allowed to go. So I was clubbing at 9, and with all this disco, and I met Barry White, and I met all this kind of legend people
That's the origin
of the
of your
1978.
platforms.
And all this, I must have done something to me. I met Grace Jones,
Wow.
and she was dressed in a official look with the kind of sailor hat and everything, and she looked to me so strong. And I think my taste somehow is there. And I used to go to the Saint-Tropez, to the market, and you wear this little short, and women used to wear those platform shoes, and I just wanted them. My shoes was clogs. At the time, at 9 years old, I was only allowed of clogs, and I just knew when I was going to grow up, I was going to get those platform, and I have not changed my mind on that.
And an amazing thing is that your shoes are really extravagant in sense of style, are really a statement of style, but they are also incredibly comfortable.
Well, this is, for
Part
me,
of the
because
philosophy.
because I'm obviously as a woman, I have to wear them, and I always think, but I want to wear them. Because
9 to
I mean,
5.
I go out less, I have to say. But when I used to go out, you never know when you go home. You start maybe at 5, you leave the house. Maybe I don't come back until 6 o'clock in the morning. And I dance. I'm a dancer. I used to be a go-go dancer before I made shoes in my 20s.
About that as well.
So I was dancing is a big part. I'm a bit scared. I am not as good as I think I am now. But at the
Anyway, you love
time,
it.
in the time, it was a big thing for me, putting the shoes and dance with them. So that's why I like the 70s, that kind of rocking in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you for dancing and moving around. So that's why I'm always like a rocking kind of platform, because I think you don't want a kind of heavy and then you can't really move and dance. Maybe they're not the best for walking, they're better for dancing. But for me, a dancing shoes is so much important, because I love to be able to feel free. That's why I like about the no heel. People always say, oh, can you wear the no heel? And I'm like, actually, for dancing, it's fabulous because you feel free. It's no heels. You're like completely free. The only things about no heel is no good is to a concert. It's because you're going to stand.
Yes, and it's quite
and then
hard.
You don't move. Then it's really hard. Then you need a man shoulder, you need a wall, something.
Something.
But if you're moving, if you're walking, and if you're dancing, the no heel is fabulous.
It is incredible how good you have really identified what kind of shoes are good for what.
Yes.
Well, obviously, working
it's the main question I get is, I want a going out shoes. Are you sure it's for going out? When are you going to wear them? Oh no, but I want to wear them every day as well. Now we're talking. We are in trouble. No, you can't have it all. It's like, that's why you have trainers. This is why you have boots, and this is why you have sandals, and is all this particular is a way, and you have to understand that, and you have to understand in your personality what you're going to be like.
But I know most of people, even celebrities, of course, especially celebrities, they don't live every day of their lives as they look in fashion editorials, or when they are in a special event or giving a concert or whatever. I do. I'm a poor person that lives in London, and I go all day in high heels.
It's no bad money. I don't love because you can find any prices. This world is full of, you have a copy of everything in any prices, obviously. But I do think, because I make bespoke and people like what I do, but I'm not a big label. I am no Louis Vuitton, I am no Gucci. So people waiting for me to do something new. So I can have the most crazy design, but if they're not comfortable, then they will not come back to me.
Yeah.
So it's really important, because in a way, if it's Gucci, you think, oh, I just buy it because it's beautiful. And it's not comfortable. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put it on the table, and everybody can look at them. Everybody can look at them. But if they come to me, it's because they are waiting for a magical, where I'm going to make them look really high, and they're going to feel like flat. So this is my job more than everything. And I can talk for 6 hours with a customer about the height. When you go, which arch, which platform, which high of the heel? Oh, but I like the 5-inch on the back. Oh, but I want a 2-inch at the front. I think I can do it. You think you can do it? Or can you do it? Or shall we go back to 2.5 with 2.5 and you have a 5-inch heel? Oh, but it would not be as sexy. And my life, I think 90% is talking about this. About, yes, they love the design, like the geisha. I don't know if you've seen the geisha shoes, and they look like not wearable, but it's about the material. Very important is this is unfortunately why you have a different price of shoes in a shop. You can have the same design, it can look the same in the picture, but when you receive it, it's not a flexible material. So if it's not flexible, it's not going to be comfortable. This is why we like a trainers, because the trainers is flexible. And if it's got no flex, you're not going to win. This is why the material I use will be cork. It will be flexible material who have bands. So the geisha, look unwearable. But even the customer who I made the first pair for said to me, it's going to be my 30th birthday. I'm going to have a long party. I hope you're not going to be offended. I'm going to take them away after 2 hours, and I will have some overshoes. I said, oh, you will be surprised. They are really comfy. I've done them bouncy with the right material. It looks hard, but it's no
But
plastic
it's not.
and it's no wood, so it will be too hard. It will look gorgeous in wood because it will not do any creases, but mine will do a bit creases, but because they're bouncy. And she didn't take them out.
So
At the end of the day,
fantastic.
she passed the night in them because they were super comfy. And this is when I feel like I'm a winner.
You
know,
are.
for me, it's like, yes, I like someone to buy my shoes. Yes, of course I want them to buy. But it's when they come back and they want another pair, then I feel, oh, I may be done all right. You know, it's maybe the husband liked it, or whatever it was. I succeed on something. Because, like I say, you know, people, if you can afford this kind of shoes, you can go anywhere. The price is not the thing. It's what you give extra.
And how do you do to such a structure of business, which is so difficult these days because
Business.
you
I am not a business person, unfortunately.
well, but you have survived. You have a very lovely studio in Brick Lane that today is not a cheap area of London.
I started in Clapham North.
I know.
I started in Clapham North. It was a shoe repair shop. It was this lovely guy called Andreas. He was from Cyprus. He was making shoes and he was a repairer. And he was taking lots of girls. We used to be 7 girls when I started. And he
Working for him.
And he looked at me and said, oh, you're too fancy. You're going to be the first one to go. And I say, I will prove you wrong. And I was the last one to go. And on 2000, he retired. And I took over the shop. I was too early for me to take over everything.
How long after meeting
7
him
years.
was
I
that?
was with him 7 years. From nearly 94, and then 2000 he retired, took over the shop. We was 4 girls. It was really fancy. It was all this girl making shoes and it was good for a while. And then I went to work for the Little Shoebox in 2001 to 2002, and they closed in 2003. And then I restart the Bespoke. It was really good for me to have that kind of understanding where I was going to go. And then it's very simple. You have to be there when the job is there, and you have to do very quick. You can't say, oh, I'm going to do 8 hours and then, oh, I go to bed. No. If something happened, a film, they want something in 3 days, suddenly you don't sleep for 2 nights.
It doesn't
and you have
matter,
to
you
make
will
it.
sleep later.
Exactly. And this kind of thing, I always say yes. I think part of the things is I never say no. And even I don't have the heel, I don't have the platform, I don't have the leather. As they starting ordering, I'm starting to call everybody. Oh, have you got this leather? Oh, I need a heel like that. Can you make? I used to have a heel maker, you know, in Norwich. Unfortunately.
Now, do you make them yourself?
No, I don't do. You know, you have to have a team. You can't be on your own, but you have to have good connection with the heel person. So as well is when you get a bill, is to pay it straight away. So when they see you're a good payer and you want something quick, they bring it to you. And it's all about that. It's all about being a good payer and give a lot of job to people. Yeah. And ready, and
the
when they
efficiency of the production.
If they say, oh, the heel is going to be expensive because you want the express, yes, charge me more, but I want it. The most important is doing the job. And it's like when you give everything people want, they think, oh yeah, I can call Natacha because she's not going to let me
yes.
She's going to say yes. She's not going to sleep, and she will not overcharge me. And she maybe have lost money, but she's done it.
So you moved to
I'm a bit
Britain
mad like that.
in 2000 and...
I restarted after the Little Shoebox in 2004, and then since I've only worked for me.
In that studio I met.
I've been in different studio. That's the most difficult, is to be in London and you want to be central for people to come to see you. But to be a studio, I don't want it to be an office.
Yeah.
Because it is a workshop. It's not. I can't make shoes at home, for example. People say, "Oh yeah, you could save money." You can't. I've leather everywhere. I've got vegan stuff. I've got an heel platform and all this kind of thing. It's just crazy how much stuff, and you need space. And then the glue is
also the
strong.
feeling
Yes.
of
And when
the
I get to the
relationship with the
studio-
space and feeling this is my bubble, this is my
I can't
little
work at
world.
home.
Yeah, I agree. It's difficult.
I trying to take things home, and I lay and after 2 minutes
but because of what
I'm
you
not
do.
in my bubble, and then the glue. My boyfriend just went crazy. He said, "What is the smell?" And it's like, "Oh, it's the glue." Oh, I don't smell it anymore.
I found it delicious.
Yes,
To be honest.
I know.
But when was the first time that someone with a big name came to you and said,
For me,
Natasha, I
the
want
big
you to
name
make
was
my-"
98. 98, I was still at Andreas in Clapham North. And we did a wedding shoes. And this woman was super happy. The shoes was nice, nothing crazy, but for her, it was perfect. And she married this guy who worked at the Pine Studio. And she married this guy who was going to work on the biggest film ever, Star Wars.
Okay.
And they didn't come to us and say, "Oh, we're making Star Wars shoes." He came and he said, "Oh, I want some brown boots. Have you got some nice leather? I want the best leather." And we showed him the most expensive leather from John Lobb, who is in near Green Park. Is John Lobb? They do for the Queen, and they have all this leather you can get from Cracks. Is in Northampton, the leather. And I showed him, and he said, "Oh yeah, I really like that brown." He said, "Can you make me a mocap for boots? I want some strap around the legs, but I don't want any stitching. I want everything to be glue because I don't want it to look any era."
Okay, timeless. I want
And I thought, "Oh, that was weird."
wow.
That was starting to put my ears to go,
We're in a good way,
what?
right?
Yes, going, what is it? And then when the person say, "Oh, the mock-up is ready," someone will come and pick it up. And what's happening, Natasha, is this is going straight to Prague, going to try to an actor, and then if he fits, you're going to have to make 10 pair for him in the next 2 weeks. Can you do that?
Yes.
And I thought, "Oh my God, what is this job?" And we didn't charge enough. We thought it was the guy who was marrying the woman who would just make the wedding shoes.
He was clever.
Anyway, so yeah, the shoes went to Prague. The helicopter bring back the sample. I am not joking. Helicopter came back to Clapham North. And I have to order the leather, a lot of leather from Northampton. It cost me £85, I remember, in taxi to come that day.
Wow,
because
you
I
remember
have
because
to
it was
late
hard
check.
to pay.
Well, in 98, I don't know if it's that much different, but I feel at the time,
That was
just
a lot
for,
of
you know,
money.
I didn't have time to wait for them to send it. I needed it today. So I said, "Can you put the leather in a taxi?" And I'm paying a taxi to London from Northampton. And I
Wow.
just started that night. We made for Lim Nielsen and Hugh McGregor, the two boots, the style. And we have to make 14 pair at the end of each style. So in 1 month, for only 4 weeks, we made 28 pairs of very difficult boots with no stitching and all this strap who was double glued. It was a lot of gluing. It was a lot of glue.
The smell.
It was like crazy.
Wow.
And yeah.
And that was the beginning of everything.
And then
I mean-
it's like that. If you impress someone with your job and they think it was no trouble, you was not a drama queen, and things was done on time, and then they say, "Oh, you should work with her," and then it's like a ball. It's like, oh, this person, and then you get another job from this exciting job, and from that job you get another exciting job.
And of course, I have to ask you, when the relationship with Daphne Guinness started, because it's amazing. She's so beautiful and she's such incredible. An icon, and she's always wearing your shoes, always those ones without the heel, without the this.
Well,
part.
she tracked me. She saw an article about how I make shoes for dancers and people on show, and she thought, oh my god, if they dancing shoes, they're going to be strong, because she doesn't stop moving. That's why she's slim. She's always moving. She's naturally flexible, and she's naturally like a dancer. So, and she, even when she sits, she doesn't sit relaxed. She's always moving, stretching,
hyperactive.
So she's always in a moving. It's like she needs shoes who she wanted to go. And she's so interesting. She's so like nice, and she's I have to say, she will order 400. She wants the same. She wants the black pair, and she wants to make sure they're all in different house, for she never miss them.
And so she has that special design that looks so difficult to wear, but in her it's just
because
like,
she's moving. She have understand them,
and
it's like when
they finish her silhouette in a very special and elegant way. Are perfect for her.
I have to say, to be slim, it helps. It helps. You know, when people say to me, "No, you know, your ankle is that pressure on it, or the ankle." Work. Yes. And she's she moves, she understands them, because as well, when she stopped, then she would put them completely like this. But when she walks, she feels free. Okay. And that's what she likes. It's the freeness of it.
Has she also got from you other shoes, or just those ones in many colors?
In many colors. She have the Mary Jane, she must have every color possible.
Every color, golden, black,
blue,
white. I have seen
blue.
Everything.
She loved blue, and she loved purple. She liked very strong color, and she knows what she likes.
Yeah,
she's
obviously.
She's always
why she's an icon.
Things. Yeah, and she likes to mix it herself as well. She likes to some old shoes. She repainted it herself. I said, oh, I've not seen that. What? She said, she repainted it. Didn't have time. I needed it for yesterday. I went to the pen shop and I just spent them. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's unbelievable. She likes to take a jacket. You look at her wardrobe. I say, can I look at your wardrobe? I would be so excited. I see the same glasses everywhere. I see all the like kimono, and she changed. She said, oh yeah, I take this.
She's a truly creative person.
She likes to change.
And I wanted
she likes to make it herself.
And yeah, that's why she has style, because it's not a.
She knows what look good on her. I think it's
comes
the
from your heart and
I
from
think
your
it's
mind.
to know yourself.
Yeah.
I think any woman look good, I think it's because they have looked at themselves and say, I look good in this, and then they're trying to be someone else. And I think this is the secret of
the more you know yourself, the better you can dress. That's true.
You know the shape of your body, you know what works. It just
and also you know what do you feel like.
Like the makeup.
And emotions.
She's quite funny. Yeah. She actually looked better. She's very good. She won the foundation, whatever. But she always said to me, yeah, she worked a lot on her hair, but she looks good with that. She just need very little, because the shape of her eyes or whatever. And when they try to do. Sometimes she have done the advert for now, and she said, it's not my favorite. I prefer when I do my way. Oh. She's like that for everything. She's
and
someone
I guess
who
it's
doesn't like someone to do her makeup. She doesn't like someone. But the hair, yes, because she works
very
with.
voluminous.
She likes to.
Cruella de Vil.
Yes, it worked. But she said, "Oh, you know, it came by a mistake. It was a mistake, and everybody loved it. But it was a mistake." So she's quite funny. She is what I'm all about being a child forever and the fantasy. And now now the music is everything. And she really enjoyed herself because she's letting it out and really enjoying it. And
I wanted to start by asking for her, because obviously you can see that there's a real relationship between you both as designers, artists, and creators. But with other celebrities, I don't know how is the deal, because maybe you never met them or you never really had the
it's
opportunity
true. Lots of people
to have
send
an
me the
interaction.
measurements. Yes, a lot of people come for.
For example, Beyonce, Lady Gaga.
This
did
is
you met them?
stylist. No, I get the foot. I get the foot. And actually, Beyonce and Rihanna, I've got their body.
Wow!
I've got because I do all the shoots
I
for
saw it.
Madame
I saw it.
Tussauds.
I saw the leg in your studio. There's Rihanna, there's Beyonce, and there's another one.
I've got Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Legs.
The whole leg, because they wanted probably
because Madame Tussauds wanted to know where to stop the boots, and Rihanna is because she's flexing in a different position, so the boots have to be cut in a different way because they can't put them on.
Wow.
So we have to think about all this. Madame Tussauds shoes is very difficult because
is that scary for you?
Because it's got a pin going through the shoes as well, to hold, and it's very different. And I learned a lot from Madame Tussauds. It's quite incredible. If you go to Madame Tussauds and you see the mask, just the faces without the body, and it's so uncanny, it's kind of freaky. It's like the person is there, but it doesn't have the body, because the face is in wax and the body is not. It's fiberglass, but the wax is actually the fake, and the work is involved. It's crazy, and you pass through the studio at Madame Tussauds and you see all this famous head, but without body.
I never wanted to go there.
It's so weird. I'm going. The studio before it's finished.
Okay.
It's really scary. Imagine having
freaky,
Lady Gaga but nobody yet and stuff like that, because it's two different parts.
That sounds more interesting.
It was a very scary
experience.
That guy, the actor who does The Shining, the really famous
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson going like that with his face but having no body, and he was really scary.
You had nightmares. I'm sure you did.
It was absolutely crazy.
But I saw those green ones. That there are two different versions you did for
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. That the green is like mint color.
That was the one where they call you on Thursday and they say, "Oh, we're filming it was for Jonathan Ross. She was going to be on Jonathan Ross on a Monday. They're filming for the show on a thing." And you're like, but it's 3 days and the weekend, it's like I can't get anything. And it was like literally, and they said to me, mint green, they could have, if they said to me it was the jade latex, I would have known what color, because I didn't know they was having the latex made. So anyway, they started with mint green shoes. Can you make mint green shoes? And we want some diamond on it. Oh, yeah. I can. It was like
even
crazy.
For you, was like, okay.
Yeah, because it's Thursday. Friday is half a day. People are gone. So, yeah. And basically, you don't know if they're going to go for the order. So you do all this work, and then maybe at the end of the day, they're like, "Oh, forget it. We found some in the shop. We're okay." And you're
that
like,
can happen.
"Oh my God!"
But do they have to pay you the same or no?
No, you don't. You don't even have started the work, but. I know if I don't start now, and they really want it, then Saturday I don't find anything,
So you need to take the risk.
It's all about risk. It's about, they was asking me that mint green. I didn't know if they're going to order it. I was already texting the girl who was with me, was at the leather place. I say, okay, you're at the leather place. Can you see any mint green? And she found one. And I tell you the story. She took a picture, I sent it to them, and they said to me, "Oh, we want a lighter." And she said to me, "There's no more lighter." I say, "Go outside in the sun, take the picture in the sun." She took the picture in the sun. We send that picture. They say, "Oh, it's brilliant now. We like that one." and then we did the shoes. We just have to, it was only one. Leather.
But you knew that maybe with more light it was gonna be perfect. So there's also the knowledge of the expert behind this kind of risks.
If it's only one, you can cry, but it's only that one.
Yeah.
It was not another green.
No.
It was not another green.
And also it looks perfect with the outfit. I saw her with the outfit
I
and the
was so
shoes.
lucky.
It was perfect.
But if they said to me it was like latex, I would have known what that latex was, because the latex is only one person to do latex, and it's only one series of colors, so I know them. But anyway, so it worked. It looked like it was so organized. But yeah, this is the true story.
And she's in a monocolor. She's looking from toe to the head, the same color.
Yeah, and
it looks perfect. I can't believe that it was so.
But it was so funny because after Madame Tussauds redo that look, and so they asked me to redo the shoes. Thank God I still have some of that green leather, and but Philip Tracy, she was wearing Philip Tracy hat.
Yeah.
Who is £4,500 this hat. So Madame Tussauds was not going to spend £4,500 for the hat. So if you see Madame Tussauds, she's not wearing a hat.
Okay.
So they have the kind of look, but they
have
don't
to adapt some
yes.
things. And is your product still accessible for someone just really happy to wear a pair of shoes? Is it the same for you? Are you equally happy when
for
someone...
me, the happiness is to have done the right shoes for the right person.
Okay. It doesn't
I don't
matter
want you to buy the geisha because you think it's the crazy one and you're never going to wear it. What I want you is to have a pair of shoes and you don't want to wear anything else. So it can be a very simple black pair of shoes. But if it works for you,
do you know which ones
dream.
I would buy? Well, there are many, but those ones that you did a few years ago that are like a tiger here, and then here is like a zebra.
Oh yes, it's only
and it's like
line.
a Mary Jane platform, but they are really those ones are
you
wonderful.
do like the animal, yes.
One.
And basically, this skin I find. It was that tiger. It was that
do you
lion
still have
everywhere.
them?
Yes, I still have that leather. So it's a zebra leather, and he's got this lion everywhere. It looks too much. So what I do is I have to cut everything off, and I connect the zebra back, and I just have one line.
Yes,
because if it was the lion everywhere, it looked like
too much.
Bad version of Versace.
Okay.
Not a good version of Versace, a bad version of Versace. So sometimes you see a leather, but you need to see what you're going to do with it. It's how you use it. It's a bit like everything.
And also there are some platforms that I also saw in a editorial fashion that Lady Gaga did, and I saw them in your studio, and I connected,
dungeon boots.
which are like brown,
boots,
and they seem very.
That was Charles Anastase. I worked with lots of designers. Charles Anastase he was one of the best. I mean, he still is a designer. He doesn't have his brand, but he worked with different company now. But Charles Anastase, he asked me to make the shoes, and that was the dungeon. It's been the most copied shoes in the world.
Really?
Yeah, you have Jeffrey Campbell called the Lita. Lita come from the dungeon boots, and all this. Everybody
it's
in
like
the collection.
It's like a hunter, urban hunter style, right?
Yeah, it's like a Dr. Martens with a very high heel and a big platform and a commando sole.
Super comfortable, and they look impressive. They are really stylish.
Yeah, it's the one I sell still a lot.
Really?
Yes, it's for young people.
How much do they cost, for example, those ones?
Around £600. Between
if you're gonna wear them for 5 years or even more,
you can have them in 20 years. It's still there. It's got a commando sole. You have to walk a lot before that commando sole is going to wear out.
Yeah.
And I make them in vegan now, but obviously I do full leather, fully lined. I use the best material. I want a pair of shoes. The idea is, in a way, you have this idea where you want a pair of shoes, someone wear it for a month, and then you have them after. So I want this feeling when you put them on, it's soft. It needs to be strong, but it needs to feel soft, like someone else already made it a bit softer, like when they are your sleepers. This is the
That's
magic.
actually one of the good things of buying shoes sometimes in charity shops, that if they are very good quality
Completely.
and they have been
Yes.
worn, then you take them in the best
People
moment.
love buying my sample sale when
Yes.
I have some shoes. I have at the moment. That's what I did in the lockdown. Is I sold all the shoes. I thought I need some space.
Well, we need to go there then.
You know,
I need to go there.
and everybody and some people say, oh, I love the fact they've been worn in a lot of photo shoot, and they feel like it's softer. Yes, but I like to have a new pair of shoes like that. I usually put them on a stretcher before I send them to a customer.
Who would be dream client? I know you have had all the clients.
Well, Jean-Paul Gaultier, of course, Jean-Paul Gaultier, but it's not really because it's more of his character. I just love him as a designer. I love the happiness and the madness. And it's a good madness. It's an exciting and fun, like a child.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of. I've met him a few times in clubs, not in a work environment, and I see him the same with anyone. And that for me,
for you.
As a designer, I love him just for that. I think he's really talented, and he likes obviously the same film of me because I can see the reference points, and like he loves the one of my favorite films is Wings of Desire, and I can tell, that's why I like to play. It's like a game in my play. I know he's watched my favorite film, The Red Shoes.
Because you see the
because
reference.
I see the colors he used in these clothes, and they look like the Michael Powell film, The Red Shoes. If you look at this film, and you don't really care about red shoes and everything, but the color, you can only be touched by the color, the choice, how it's filmed. And a film sometimes is not about the story, it's about the image, or it's only about the story. It can be a little thing, like I say about the perfume, and it makes you dream. That phrase, who is still make me dream. So it's all this kind of thing. And I can see this design and this color palette come from The Red Shoes, from Mike Powell film. It's been obviously, when you look at that film, it's like, oh, it's the colors I love. That feeling that,
I'm sure you are sure that he's taking the reference.
For me, and
it's very clear. Have you had the opportunity
maybe I'm
to ask?
No, completely not. But you can tell. This is why I like to play the game. I see a designer and I can tell where is the reference about what you like. So if I meet you and I see how you dress, I'm going to see what kind of film you like and what you're about and what you like, and it makes sense to me. Like a film like Bitter Moon, she wears some really crazy clothes at the end on the boat, and all this people will take reference and want to put it in their collection. It's a bit like when you see Greg Jones and Jean-Paul Gaultier, what he's done, and you see some people recreating this. It's not about copying, it's about liking it and want. And
it's like an homage, it's like a tribute.
Exactly.
You tribute yours somehow, and you do it even without wanting to do it consciously.
That's why Kat Von Teese, I knew straight away we will love each other because she likes maybe some other things I don't. I'm not.
You are not into it.
But it's a lot of things we appreciate. I mean, she liked the Marie Antoinette more than.
And the red is an obsession for her as well.
Red, black, and the red. She sees it as a magical thing as well, and she's got that playfulness and that.
It's also she also has that good heart that I think you are so attracted to.
Yes, of course. The when you work with easy people, it makes life so easy.
So easy, yeah, I know. And she's also very concerned. I wanted to ask you about the vegan lifestyle.
Yes, obviously.
She's into it.
Yeah, she saw lots of
All the
film.
shoes you made for her are vegan?
When we started, she was not. And then she saw lots of film. And who have completely changed her mind, who she felt like, it's like when you've been educated by your parents, you follow what your parents do, and then suddenly you learn other things yourself, and then you do a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happened to her. She just saw a different way, and she realized her way was not right for her, and she realized she wanted to change. And she came and she said, I've got to remake all the shoes in vegan, you know. And she didn't throw the ones she have because she keeps them in a collection, but she wanted to make that transition.
Yeah.
She needed to start somewhere, and she did. And she really appreciated me when I said to her, for me, leather is everything. I grew up with this idea leather was everything. And the world is changing, and I'm trying to adapt myself.
To that as well,
you know,
yeah.
It's not easy because vegan material is a reason why shoes are made in leather. First, as well, it's difficult for me to understand because the world is still eating meat,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So the skin is thrown away and it's free. So if we are not using that skin, we are
Somehow
just burying
we're
it.
wasting it.
We
Yeah.
are just burying it. It's like the expense of leather is the tanning process. And that gives a lot of job to a lot of people to have those skin. And because you can't use them just like that, you need a lot of process.
And a special expertise.
Yes.
And it's a tradition as well,
Yes,
I guess.
in Italy they have places who's just a tannery.
This is an interesting...
So, you know, it's jobs and it's
perspective,
thing.
yeah.
It's so complicated. It's not clear. So I think some people are stopping eating meat. And of course, the people who are stopping eating meat don't want to wear leather. So it needs to be adjusted. And this is why the world is adjusting.
So you're happy
The
to...
day the world is not eating at all meat, then yes, then we will not have the skin. Then nobody will have leather goods. You know, it's a
But while
weird
we
thing.
are in this kind of transition,
Yes.
you feel like it's the right thing to do somehow.
Yes, you have to give. I really believe if someone don't want to wear leather, you need to be there and give them things. So I've been looking for a good material. So because again, the problem is vegan stuff. You
Has the
can't
same
scratch it.
durability and flexibility that leather
You
has?
can find flexibility, you can find durability, but what is difficult is it doesn't glue as well.
Okay.
And it can fall apart.
Mm.
It means it can reopen, especially when it's hot like this. The glue react and then things can open. That's why you can find yourself sometime with a sandal and then it's completely melted.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, because it's just glue. And the glue react to the heat. So the heat reopen the glue and it reopen. So it's not broken, it's more about reopen. So it just, the problem is the material, because the leather is porous. When you scratch it and that's why you scratch it, and then the glue goes inside, it gets really locked in, it gets inside the leather. Where a material who is man-made, it doesn't have this texture like a skin, and the glue doesn't go inside. So it's still on top. So when it reacts and it's hot, it reopens.
Yeah.
So you can have the shoes losing the sole and things like that. So, you know, at the price I do the shoe, because the price is the making is still the same amount of work. You have a bit of a cheaper material, but it's not that cheap.
Is it
because
cheaper?
then it is a bit cheaper than leather, but it's so much more work. I have to work double to make it work, to look good. So actually, I'm working, the price is not much different.
So for now, you are still...
It's the same kind of price. It's why I just say to people, yeah, what do you want? Do you want leather? Do you want vegan? And then they say, and then I do. So yeah, she was really pleased when I was proposing to, you know, I put it on my website. So and I say I'm trying to change myself. I definitely, as someone from Nice who, you know, you grow up with the idea you have to eat meat every day or then you're going to be ill. I'm definitely not having that life. You know, I'm very different. I think I'm like everybody who looking at things like Instagram or anything and learn a bit more about food and what do we really need and
how to contribute to living a better world is important for all of us, but also that thing you were saying about it would be still a waste while in this world there's
and then if we do plastic
eating.
shoes, the plastic doesn't doesn't disintegrate, and it's just. But for Kat, it's not about saving the planet.
Yeah.
For her, it's saving the hurt of the animal. So it's where me, I would want a material who will be better for the planet as well than plastic shoes, because the plastic shoes, if they finish in the water, is going to hurt the fish anyway. So
it's complicated.
Yeah,
and it's difficult to take.
I think it's good people are changing their mind, and I think we're looking at it, and the world is trying to change, and trying to change. I think is to understand it's not working and it's not good for the future of the children. So we need to think about what we can improve, definitely.
You also took part in that amazing exhibition at the Victorian Albert that was called Pain and Pleasure, or Pleasure and Pain.
Yeah, Pleasure and Pain.
And it makes me...
That was such a good title for me, because shoes are pleasures and pain.
And also your shoe, the shoe you choose to participate, that we will talk about that, are amazing. But that idea you have, and I completely agree that glamour comes with high. it's that exhibition was all about that metaphor.
I think it was amazing, because the woman who organized this exhibition really talked to me about it, and she went really to understand it's always been, it's not in 60s, 40s, 90s, it was 18th century, it was Louis XIV. We always wanted to show richness, luxury by shoes. Shoes always have been a way to show your wealth, to show how rich you are. If you have an expensive shoes, people look at you in a very different way. My dad worked in a hotel, and he say, some people will come with a nice suit, and we could tell they was not going to pay the bill because they used to have bad shoes. Shoes really give something to people. Idea of you judge a lot by a shoe.
Yeah, and also you can, for example, I have always said with my friends, we can go together to a shop, and we are very different in point of view, in life, many different things, but we are friends. Then you go to a shop together, you can maybe choose the same t-shirt, or maybe you find, I like these earrings, me too. But if we really are different, the shoes will always show that character that each of us have.
Yeah, shoes give us such a personality.
Yeah. And it's a way also to recognize yourself in the others, because you sit down somewhere and the people surrounds you, and you can make friends just because you like their shoes.
My favorite things
like that.
I've made some shoes for some people, and it was a special friend in my life she was very special, and she used to dress really fantastic. And I made some shoes, and unfortunately she's not with us anymore. And all the shoes came back to me, and I can't lend them to anyone, and I can't give them to anyone because they don't work on anyone. First, it was made for her feet, who was very long and small and narrow, and her way of dressing is not like anyone, and the shoes on other people look ridiculous. It look ridiculous because if you don't have their personality, on her it was sexy even, but on someone else it would look like a clown shoe.
Yeah.
And shoes is really funny. It's some people really like, some people like open shoes, like the mule, having just one. Yeah, it gives so much personality about the person you are.
You made those ones that are like a Buffon kind of...
like a pixie foot.
Yes, those ones are, from my point of view, the more difficult to even think about wearing them, because they could be maybe very sexy for someone.
Yes.
But
It was for Grayson Perry.
Yes, and of course in him.
On Grayson, it all makes sense. You know, people say to me, "Oh,
how you made them for
but
anyone
he's a
else.
very good example. He's a very good example because he designed the shoes. I don't design. He comes with really a drawing and he knows what he wants.
Really?
And when he
That's
started,
amazing.
I made flat Mary Jane, and he said, "I will never go for heel." And then, of course, I managed to make him believe
Yes, I saw
I
some
can make
heels.
it comfortable, and slowly he wanted to be sexy in a different way, and it changed. Like we always believe we're never going to change, but in a good thing we change. And he went into different outfits, he went in different makeup, he went in different things, and we have done lots of different shoes. And it's really funny because this is the only customer, I will never have a customer because I make shoes for him.
Okay.
Because
he doesn't bring all the people.
No. I've never have anyone
that comes
say, "Can I have the Grayson Perry shoes, please?"
But
no.
that happened with Dita
It only
Von
works
Teese,
on
that
him.
happened with other customers.
It only happens to him. It only happens for him. This shoes. People like the fact I make shoes for him, but
they don't want those ones.
They don't want those ones. They say, "No, they're so Grayson." And Grayson is quite happy. I'm never going to make a shoes like him anyway. Yeah, I think he was very happy. For example, he's going to have a different character about him. He likes to be Claire and he likes to be in a dress or whatever, but he's got another character who he loves being on a motorbike. He's a big biker and motorbike, and he likes the leather catsuit, and he designed an incredible one with lots of design, and someone is made for him all the leather. And I made the motorbike boots in a really crazy acid green with a black star on it, and he's doing a show coming out next month where he went to America with a handmade motorbike, and he designed all by himself. He did a better version because he did another motorbike who is in the museum at the moment, but it was so heavy. He put the box at the back, and it was so heavy, and he went to Germany with it, and it was crazy because.
And did you use that leather? I saw a piton kind of acid green, a little bit more yellowy.
More yellow.
Is that the one you used for his boots?
No, it's a leather green, and he's got a star, and he designed. It's like a motorbike boots, but fancy color, and so he's got a different character. I do lots of motorbike boots, and he's got one with red patent with flowers on it, like a 60s madness. He loves flowers, and he loves cat faces. He loves cats. So he's got a lot of shoes with a smiley cat face, and lots of hearts, and lots of things. I think I'm the only one who will wear the shoes he wears. You know.
You would?
Because, it's
some of them.
Yeah, it's very me. I like the crazy. I have in my time wear some crazy shoes. For me, I'm a bit like him. I want to be noticed from the moon. You know, I want to walk down the street. I don't want a black pair of shoes. No. I want to make sure, is
anyway,
colorful.
The black ones that you choose for the exhibition at the Victoria and Albert, those are black, blue. But those are not black shoes. Those are amazing.
They electric blue and black.
Oh, I'm sorry. From the print of the screen, they look.
I didn't choose the color. Because I make those one in a red and black. And they say to me, for the exhibition, because we're putting different people in different boxes, and you're in blue boxes. Can you make them in black and blue? And I say yes, of course.
Okay.
But yes, it's.
It's a dark blue.
Yeah, it's
like
an
navy?
Electric blue. It's the path. It's like very much like a Eve Clan.
Okay.
You know the Eve Clan blue?
Yes, of course.
It's my favorite blue.
Klein blue.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's one of my favorite colors ever.
I love that as a makeup.
How then I saw them black? Maybe I'm confusing a photo.
Okay.
So I'm probably confusing the shoe. So tell me about how is the design of that shoe?
Those one is quite funny because the first pair was made for Vogue, And they said to me, "Oh, we're going to do a very special issue about geisha, and we want a kind of a Japanese print on it." And again, calling us on Thursday, the shoot is on Tuesday. So you don't have to think. As they talking to you, you're already looking at Japanese printing. And we choose this print we look on fabric Japanese print, and we saw one who will work with the bubble. And it's really funny because now when I look at it, when you look at the shoes, it look like the the contactless sign. It's like a little, I don't know, it's got this shape from the profile. And people have said online, "Oh, is it the contactless shoe?" And I thought it was hilarious. And I can see what they say. Sometimes I think, what are they talking about? But there I'm like, oh yeah, I see what you mean. Anyway, yeah, it's right. We did the red and black. And it's amazing photo shoot for the Vogue where they have this Japanese girl on a sofa, and she's got those big bubble shoes with the red and black, and that's why when they choose for the exhibition, we want from that Vogue photo, and can you make them in blue? But yes, if you see them, they have the contactless. I mean, yes, the bubble shoes.
Are you yourself obsessed about collecting shoes, or
No.
for you it's more about
No.
making them?
No, for me, it's crazy. People think I have lots of shoes. I don't. I'm someone who can only have one. Because when I have one, then I wear it all the time. And when it's finished, then I make a new one. Because if I have, at the moment, actually, I'm in trouble because I have a few pair I like. Then it's too much complicated. I can't wear them at the same time. So it's a conflict because which one to wear. At the moment it's hot. It's why only the open perforated shoes I'm wearing. But normally it's my star boots. So it's really difficult because I have my silver and blue, and then I've got red satin with gold and things like that. And then it's like,
And those are colors that for you
Yeah.
are wearable and matchable with anything. You can
Yeah.
match that. with
Yeah,
anything.
the worst is when a customer said to me, "Do you think that would go with that?" And it's like, don't ask me, because for me everything goes with everything.
Exactly. But you also wear, you said before when we were
I mean,
talking.
I always have silver, gold, red. It's basically red and blue. Red and pale blue. You can't go wrong with red and
that's
pale blue.
perfect. Yes,
Red and
yes.
pale blue all the time. And then I've got my
That's
silver
very
and my
vintage.
gold. Because silver and gold for me is no color. It's like you say, like jewelry vintage.
Mhm.
If you want something natural, then you have gold or silver. And then pale blue and is a bit romantic. And then red, dangerous lady. And for me, it's the right combination. And then I get for good of heart, like at the moment, I went on crazy on my acid green. So I have to have acid green shoes. But then I mixed it with black and white because I didn't want it to be just green, because then it was going to look too green. I don't know. I have these weird things. It goes into my head.
But
At the moment, I like nude. I love lots of nude. I love nude with black.
nude, I have. Maybe you can tell me why. I have always found very difficult to wear nude in any way,
I don't
even
wear nude.
underwear. But it's a color I admire a lot when people know how to use it, but it's not easy for me to find
I can't. I don't look good in nude at all.
It's
It would be. I would
probably
be
that. I don't-
disappearing. So it would not be good for me. But if I do a long boots in the nude, and then I do a lacing red and a cheeky tongue pink, and then I will have some details of black. Like I do some stuff you can harness.
Mhm.
I can put on or off.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about photo shoots, because I know it works for the magazine, because they will have lots of black clothes. So then the shoes is nude with a bit of black. So I will think I have to do, always thinking when I make my samples is for photo shoots. So I have to make the one I don't have. So I will think about something who works in photo shoots.
And what's the shoe you make, let's say the best sell, not for celebrities or not for fashion?
Is the thigh boots. The people come for me really, who is my man or woman, is thigh boots, because it's really hard to find a shoe who is going to fit your legs and your foot,
Exactly.
you know, and have a nice leather.
It has to be made for
And then you can make it comfy. You don't have to go so high, because even a 4-inch heel in an everyday looks high.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if you have a 2-inch platform with a 4-inch high, it's enough for every day to be high.
But those
you
ones
know.
with the platform more square or with the stiletto? More with the square?
At the moment, nobody wants stiletto. Stiletto have disappeared from the mind of people. I hope it will be back, because I'm a stiletto lover.
Yeah.
But at the moment, even stiletto look out of fashion. It look like, ooh, this is passé.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I can see I've got the rubber boots
I think they are so
in a thick heel,
classical.
and I've got some with stiletto. All the stylists, 22 years old to 35 at the moment, they look at the stiletto, they go, no. And they go for the chunky.
Okay.
Everybody wants chunky.
Chunky. Chunky
It's a big,
means,
I call it the big eyebrow.
means
You
action,
remember
right?
in the 80s, everybody, I used to shave my eyebrow, I used to have just a line. Now I'm trying to thicken it. It's what's happening with the heels. Everything is big, the heel massive, the wage.
I love chunky, very, let's say with a lot of character, but high. And they are also immensely wearable,
Yeah, but
much more wearable than a stiletto.
That's why I always have fun when I make my sample, because I don't think about comfort there. I go for the photo. So I go for the arch like that. And then people will say, oh, you can have this same shoes in a more comfy. Some people who, celebrity, they're going to do photo. So they want high.
And what's the more impossible shoe you have ever made, even for yourself? You know it's unwearable.
Well,
Very
I
difficult.
do, you know, like it was taken from a Victorian shoes, who the heel is longer than the shoes is coming out. I don't know if you've seen it.
But not the ballerina kind of, not that
No,
one.
it's like a normal boot. I mean, high, but the heel is like a
I don't
massive
think
pointed, and it goes thin, and basically the foot is here and the heel is still going here. So it's unwearable. But it was for a video with this designer who make video, and she said to me, she's going to be in bed, and we're going to take the video from the foot, and we want it strange. We want to feel like everything is strange, and we're going to go on her, and she's even stranger, because it was this famous model. She's albino.
Okay.
She's got red eye, and she's white, and she's got white hair.
I think I know who it is.
Kuni, and very attractive. And they put her on a geisha kind of big kimono, purpley and thing. And I have these boots in snake skin, and the heel was made of wood, and I silver it with silver to make it look like metal.
But it's not.
I didn't have time. The guy, I say,
Again.
I need a metal heel. Oh yeah, I can make it in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, I will be in another project. So someone made it in wood, and overnight, silver leaves over that to look like metal.
To make it look like metal. But those are impossible. You
No,
can't even stand on them.
No, because the heel is so long and it's so thin. It will be the heel. If you do this, you crack it. It's like a match.
Okay.
It's so thin, the wood. You know, it's like it looks so hard. But I will find you a picture. I can send it to you. And it's an incredible picture. It's amazing, because I said to her, please, can you get me a picture? And she's literally for this girl on the stairs, and she's on the wood stairs. And this picture is amazing, but it was literally done, you know, when not organized, but it looked amazing, that picture.
And you are from Nice, which is a beautiful city, beautiful. Then you
it was
the
great
sun.
as a childhood. It was amazing.
And then you moved to Paris when you were about 16.
Yes, I told my parents since I was 12. When I'm 16, I'm going to the capital of fashion.
to work in fashion?
It was. I never knew. I mean, Saint Tropez. I love Saint Tropez. My dad worked in Saint Tropez, Nice. Is where we're always traveling in a car, an hour and a half, always back and forth. But since I was 12, it's like I'm going to Paris. I'm going to Paris. I'm going to Paris.
But it was
And,
a disappointment for you.
Oh yes, it was the biggest disappointment of my life.
Why?
Because it's first Nice is more exciting and Saint Tropez was more exciting. Yes, it did have some club and I did find some stuff to do for a little while. But Paris is all about the rich. It's all about being rich and it's not about being creative. So for me, it was a disappointment. I thought I was going to be able to wear what I wanted, be who I want. It was the same of Nice. People was like, "Oh, you're different. We don't like it," you know. And yeah, they like
Did you
follow the
work-
Vogue magazine. If you're not coming out of this fashion, you're different. And if you're different, it's weird.
It
And they
doesn't
can't
mean
take
good,
it.
yeah.
They can't take it. And then it's very racist, you know. It's a lot of things I don't agree in Paris. You know, I have lots of different friends. And it all makes sense when I moved to England because I know nobody's perfect and the world is not perfect and London is not perfect, but it is a lot of mixing who makes it a better world and so much better. You know, in France, and as well in France, if you say you're from the south and you're not from Paris, suddenly they don't talk to you. Because my accent, I don't have an accent because I live in Dubai when I was a child. So I've traveled. My dad worked in different places.
So it's quite neutral in
Yes,
France?
my accent is weird. I always have a funny voice. It doesn't matter if I speak in French, in English. The French don't believe I'm French now. And I have to fight with the French. And no, I'm French. I show you my passport. And they're like, no. And it's like my life has always been about that. And then in Paris, it's like, oh, but you're from Paris. And I was like, no, I'm not from Paris. And it's like, oh, you know, and there's all these things. And Paris is really, I mean, I found a good job. I work in an amazing company. I work for Nina Ricci and it was really good. But after 6 months, I wanted something wild and crazy. And I moved to Brighton and I meet someone to do the shoes. And yeah, it meant to be, you know, but yes, Paris was, it's a lot of things I like about Paris. The beauty is incredible. I mean, I never go bored of the beauty, but it's just it's very they don't like something different like me, and it was just so different. And I have to live like marginally, and I just in London I'm myself, and I find friends.
And you found your thing. You can do whatever you love.
It's
and
only like
be
5 of
yourself.
us in Paris, you know. It's only 5 or 10 maximum, and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to live like this. I like the fact of course I'm different even in London, but I have lots of friends who feel like me. So I have enough friends. Where in Paris it was like we was a very small,
You were feeling
very
alone
small
and
group.
very isolated.
I was
probably,
living with 3 gay guys, and I have my hair done all the time, and it was all amazing. But it was not me, you know.
Does it worries you that maybe in the future this amazing, beautiful skill you have, it would disappear from the world? Would you like to do something to keep the tradition?
I think when I look online, that was the reassuring about Instagram and stuff, to see a lot of people do it even as a hobby.
Okay.
Some people, I have customers who make shoes for themselves. They've not really, you know,
amazing.
and they don't really want to do a business out of it or whatever. I think for me, if I could have done shoes without to be a business, would have been better. Because the business side, I have to say, is a killer for me. I'm not very good at, as much as it look like I'm charging a lot, I'm not charging enough. Because I don't like that things about money and stuff. I was not made for this. And you know, it's really difficult for my boyfriend, I suppose, because obviously we have to live, we have to pay the rent, and we have to think about all these things. But yes, for me, I really wish, the bigger wish is to have enough money for, I don't have to charge anyone, I don't just make shoes for fun. because the other side is really not. Some people are really good at business. I'm not.
It's not your case. But well, as long as you can offer an amazing product and keep
my only
paying your
objective.
bills, that's
Exactly
amazing.
but then I got to my age and I realized, oh my God, I didn't save anything, because all I did is make sure I keep my workshop, because my workshop is my bubble. I always put everything into the shoes and didn't really think about myself. So yes, I don't know. We can't change it now.
From now to 10 years, what would be a nice goal for you? Something
Well,
you would
I am
like to go
changing. I am changing big time.
for? What do you
I'm
mean?
going to the end right now. I'm completely changing, because I'm going to have some shoes. I'm going to do a ready to wear in Italy.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to do
Oh,
a
that's
ready to wear.
amazing news.
I never wanted to do this. I was against it with my full body. I was like, never do that. But I was wrong. I was wrong, because I thought if you go to a factory and if you have shoes made, I was going to lose my quality. I was going to lose everything is about me, and I was worried to not meet my customer, and because I like, I have lots of fun with my customer. I'm very lucky. I don't have annoying customer. They usually want fun. They want the shoes. And I always think, well, if the shoes didn't work, we'll make another one. It's never the end for me. It's never a problem. I sell it to someone else, and it's never a problem. So I didn't think I was going to go that way, but I met amazing factory in Italy. And in this crazy world of the lockdown, I did have time to look at it. Because I never have time. I'm always the next project, the next shoes, and I never breathe. It's like, for the first time, the fact everything stopped. And I met some Italian friend, and she said, "But are you crazy? You can have the quality you want, and you can choose the leather, and you can choose the vegan, and you can choose the material of the platform, because I don't want plastic.
And somehow it's a
I
new
don't want
adventure also.
Yes, and it would be nice to have some, because I make a lot of shoes I wish I don't make, because it's a black boot, say.
Yeah, yeah.
And then maybe I can touch younger people, because the price will be a bit more affordable.
And expand the vision and the vision.
I don't know, I'm a bit scared on the business side, because
but the vision, you need to give that joy and
I
that
don't
sense
know.
of magic to the world.
I am excited in the sense of it's different, and if I can still do the quality I want and the comfort and all my crazy mind of how I want the things, if they say they can do what I want, let's see.
Natacha, thank you so much.
It was so good.
It
Nice
has
to
been
speak to you.
amazing to talk with you. I'm actually moved.
It's so nice, so nice.
Thank you.
You are the reason why people, feel appreciate, because you appreciate design, and I can see in your eyes. It means, because we all want to be of a dream, isn't it? It's all about dream
The magic
and fun
and the fantasy.
Yeah,
and the
because life can be very boring.
Yeah.
And when you can bring a little spark,
Thank you
nice.
From the bottom of my heart.
Me too.
Can I see?
Of course.
Wait. Thank you. You're
so
amazing.
nice to meet you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.